Hey yo, and welcome to the latest episode of BAM Weekly. That's Boris and Matt Weekly, the show where we chat some sports, the show where we chat some entertainment, and then at the end we put it all together to chat some sports entertainment, better known as wrestling. Happy holidays. It's a busy week here on BAM. I'm Boris, and as always, I am joined by Matt.
Bonjour. How's everybody doing out there? We hope you're doing well. Happy holiday season as we round into, that whole time of year. Boris, how you doing these days?
Good. I've reached the level of the vacation where I'm not sure whether I don't give a shit about anything, but I don't give a shit about anything. Very festive. Very cool. Festive. No. I'm just cruising along at this point, to be honest. Still not ready whatsoever for Christmas and all that stuff. That future Boris issue, really. But yeah, I'm just super busy, honestly, with all my side hustle stuff. And that's honestly keeping me super busy overall. But overall, things are going well. Can't complain too much. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Got nothing else to really say. How are things with you?
Cool, man. Keeping you super busy and somewhat sane. Yeah, same. Just, crunching down for the holiday season. You're running out of time, though, homie. It's the evening of December 19th as we record this. Happy birthday, Sarah, my sister. I know you're not listening, but anyway, yeah, man, it's just like present Boris is going to turn into future Boris pretty soon. Their paths will converge.
Oh yeah, for sure. But till then, don't give a shit, really.
I feel you. That's kind of the best way to navigate the Christmas season. But yeah, I'm kind of there, just trying to survive the next few work days and get home, see some family, and then start it all again in 2023.
Exactly. That's pretty much it, right? Like, what else can we really say? What else can we really do, right? So just some programming notes here on SNME. Obviously, the next couple of weeks, we have the best and the worst of 2022. This coming Sunday on Christmas Day, we have the best of 2022. And then the following week, New Year's. It is everybody's favorite episode as we bring to you the worst of 2022. And I think, like I've been saying and I've been teasing, everyone needs to listen to this because there were some interesting choices for really both best and worst, but I think worst, the patron choices on some categories were very, as the kids say, sus.
Sus is a way to put it. We disagreed with some of them, but hey, we love to hear it. I think it made for some good debates. It was a ton of fun to do the show. It was a marathon, but the good kind, the kind that leaves you wanting to do another marathon. We also have the top 122 of 2022, Boris, coming out. That's our BAM list of the best matches of the year. And I don't know, I think we're hoping to record that Friday the 30th or Saturday the 31st, depending on your schedule, depending on what's going on in the world. But we'll get it out at some point. It's going to be good. And we're talking some of the hardest cuts from that list on this show today. So that's going to be a lot of fun at the end of this program.
Yeah, those are always a lot of fun to do. 122 is a lot to get to, but those lists are always a shit ton of fun. Yeah, dude, I don't know what else. I'm trying to think of like what other stuff is going on here in the world of SNME. So much, but yet nothing at all. And in the world of BAM, so much, and yet nothing at all as well.
Yeah, well, it's nice. It's a Christmas lull in most sports, although we had a little World Cup snuck in there. But yeah, man, lots coming in 2023, I hope, anyway.
Yep, exactly. So we'll see exactly where we end up. But without further ado, dude, let's just get to our stuff. Let's chat some NFL this past weekend. Had some Saturday games, had some Sunday games. The Saturday games, if anything, NFL Network has a better deal than Amazon because those, 2 out of the 3 games were pretty damn good. The Colts and the Vikings kicked things off, and what everyone thought was just going to be an absolute shit show of a game, an absolutely one-sided affair turned into a nightmare if you were a Colts fan.
not just a Colts fan, but if you're Matt Ryan, because Matt Ryan is now on the receiving end of a couple huge blow, I don't even know what you would call it, like comebacks on the other end, right? Like he was the captain of the squad of the Atlanta team that lost the 28-3 lead, and now he loses this lead. He's the worst comeback in the history of the playoffs and the regular season have both come down on poor Matt Ryan. So yeah, tough beat for the Colts, tough beat for Matt Ryan. Great if you're a Vikings fan. Justin Jefferson went off in fantasy, so that was nice for those who own him. And yeah, man, what can you say? The greatest comeback in the history of football statistically, although it's not going to be remembered as such, you know?
No, exactly.
Because it was a regular season game on some weird Saturday.
Exactly. Get used to these Saturday games. People always forget that closer to the end of the season, NFL always experiments with these Saturday games. And unfortunately, after this past week, I think that we're going to be seeing some more games. The middle game, I don't even remember who played in that middle game anymore.
Yeah, actually, I didn't. I'll look it up real quick.
But let's talk about the main event from Saturday. You know, NFL and the referees. You know, they're really not helping their case week over week of this whole is the NFL staged and rigged type of thing. The calls are just so inconsistent. It's unbelievable. There were calls like we've seen the Dolphins being called for some of the absolute weakest pass interference penalties, roughing the passer penalties over the past few weeks. And we literally saw Buffalo just completely cream and hold our wide receivers and nothing gets called. So I don't even know what the hell is going on. And what gets to me is like, these are pivotal games, absolutely important games for both teams. And yeah, it's just like, I know at the end of the day, you know, you can't let one call ruin your game, but when it's a series of them all leading up to the eventual Buffalo win, it's quite frustrating, especially when you hate Buffalo and you like the other team that they're playing.
Yeah, feel you on that one as someone currently wearing a Miami Dolphins toque. The middle game on Saturday was Browns over Ravens. Browns 13, Ravens 3.
Yeah, but no one gave a shit about the Bills, that game.
But well, that's why we forgot it. But yeah, the Bills beat the Dolphins 32-29 on Saturday night. Some dubious calls, but I think I lean towards the first thing you said, where you gotta, like, it's not just one call, you gotta win the rest of the game. But when it becomes a series of calls, man, the thing is, it's just an inconsistency, which you also said. That's the biggest problem with officiating. And I get it because it's different people officiating different games at different speeds, different everything, you know what I mean? But there needs to be more consistency, especially in the NFL.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to, right? Like there needs to be a summit or something with the refs, just because this is starting to get a little ridiculous. The NFL also needs to review how lenient they need to be for certain calls, because, you know, the passing, these are the two major ones: pass interference and roughing the passer. Those two are the most dubious calls that literally changes from referee to referee to referee. You know, a lot of people complain about the NBA and, you know, the fouls and how soft they can be. But imagine getting fouled and the other team automatically be given 2 points and the ball and something like that, right? Like that's the equivalent when it happens, these flags happen in the NFL, right? Like it's usually a 15-yard penalty or where the penalty happened, plus an automatic first down. And it just completely deflates any momentum that you had. And then, well, guess what? The defensive players who get called on the penalty, they're not gonna go hard because now the referees have their eyes on them.
Yeah, exactly right. And it's just like, okay, for example, the New York Giants versus Washington Commanders game. Did you see the final play of that game, which was a brutal, obvious pass interference the Giants committed on the Commanders, which was not called because of the spotty inconsistentness. And that referee at that time did not want to end the game on a penalty, did not want to, you know what I mean? He just let the Giants win that one, basically. And it's kind of, it's sus would be the word to use, I think, in this case.
Yeah, exactly. And then take a look at the Raiders and the Patriots game where you clearly have the use of video. Why like I've gone on this rant on the World Cup date about the use of technology. If you're going to be using this technology, use it consistently and make sure that it follows the letter of the law, because then what the fuck is the point of having all this technology?
Yeah, either like make rules that legislate you can only use it a bit, or like where we're at right now, you have to just kind of get the call right, like you said. But there's a bigger story in that Patriots Raiders game. We have to talk about one of the worst plays in the history of football, man.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, this one. So I was watching this one. I met up with my friend Monica, and we were just having lunch. And in the corner of my eyes, I can see this entire thing go down. And I'm like completely just disassociated from the conversation and started watching the game.
That's hilarious, because a historic event was happening before your eyes. So it was funny. I actually saw a Reddit thread. I think it was on like just random like NFL Reddit. It might have been on like the Bill Simmons Reddit or something weird. But someone actually asked, why don't NFL teams throw more laterals? It seems as though like it works in rugby, and if you can practice it and get good at it, it could be like a major advantage that nobody is exploiting. So we kind of saw why no one tries laterals, because at the end of a tie, it's different. It just made me think. Yeah, it just made me think of that thread that I read like 2 days previous, and I was just like, it was just in my head, because this is why teams don't try laterals though. Because at the end of a tie game, it was 24-24, Patriots and Raiders. The Patriots have the ball. It ends up with the running back Ramondre Stevenson at the sideline throwing basically a 15-yard backwards Hail Mary. What would you call this pass? A crazy lateral that I guess was meant for Mac Jones, which in and of itself a terrible idea. Boris, that's not the man who should be getting the ball. But yeah, man. So it leads to an interception. This man literally throws the ball directly to the other team, and the Raiders romp into the end zone after ex-Patriot Chandler Jones embarrasses current Patriots quarterback Mac Jones and stiff arms him like a child, throws him to the ground like he's 7 years old.
Yep. Exactly. Throws them the way that you throw your kids after you beat them in a game of Mario Kart.
Just like, even like, I don't know, like a little dog would barking at your feet, like, get out of here. Just kicked him away like he wasn't even there and romped into the end zone. And the Las Vegas Raiders beat the Patriots because they literally threw a game away. I've never seen that. I've watched a lot of football. Since I was like, I don't know, 12 or 13, I've been watching the NFL. I've never seen anything like that, especially in a tie game. That's something the Patriots would traditionally do if they were losing by 3 or 6 or 10.
You see shit like this a lot in college. Not a lot, but it's a little more commonplace in college football.
Okay.
But yeah, here's the thing. I'm all for the rugby game in terms of trying laterals and whatnot. What they did last night was not smart. They're fucking they're Hail Marying it. They're not lobbing it. They're not passing it. You might as well just close your eyes and just throw it up in the air, and whatever team catches it, right? Like that's
basically what it was.
That's literally what it was. Not literally, but that space, you know what I mean. But yeah, but I'm all for the use of laterals and all that fun stuff, especially now that we're at a point in football in the NFL where I'm pretty sure every single team almost has the same playbook, but a variation of stuff. So, everyone does, the flea flicker and stuff like that to change things up. So why not use laterals like a rugby team? It's very effective when it works properly, i.e. Buffalo Bills beating and upsetting the Titans in the playoffs in 1998.
That's true, but yeah, that's one example, and you have to go back to that point. Didn't the Dolphins fuck up the Patriots once real bad? Right? Yes, they did. Yeah. But yeah, so few and far between they are, but that's because they're attempted rarely. But it does happen a lot. at the end of somewhat close games, and it has never gone this poorly. Ever.
It's the Titans doing it to the Bills in the playoffs, because I remember being happy. And I also remember your favorite wrestler, JEFF, wearing a Titans jersey in Buffalo the next time that they were in town, and it just like got booed out of the building.
That's the best thing he's ever done in his career. That and that one match against Shawn Michaels in July of 1995.
Yep. But yeah, the NFL, like, so yeah, I'm all for doing laterals and stuff like that. But just don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't make it look like it's the stupidest thing and it's literally off the cuff. Like, I want to see, look, if you start doing this, I can honestly see the game changing. It's like introducing the alley-oop in basketball, like the introduction of this 3-point game. Honestly, it's the revolution. It's going to happen sooner or later. You're going to see teams doing this more.
You think, eh?
I do think so.
That's like, I kind of had vibes of that when I was reading that post. I was like, I wonder, because there's always innovations in sports. I wonder what the next big innovation will be in any sport. I think in baseball, we're going to see a lot more hitting to the gap next year. We're going to open up the game a little bit.
No, we won't. The batters can't bat. There's a reason why they took away the shift, because the batters suck nowadays.
Well, we'll see guys like Whit Merrifield choke up and work on that contact, bat 310. You heard it here first, Boris.
You hope so. You hope these idiots are learning how to direct their bats and their hits. Like,
I do.
You would hope so. You would hope so. You would hope that teams like Spain and other teams in the penalty kicks actually practice them in football. You would hope so.
That feels like a good segue to me, Boris. What do you have to say about the World Cup in a nutshell? Because you already did a fantastic job on the World Cup date.
I was literally going to say, go listen to the World Cup date. That's where I have all my thoughts. No, but really, World Cup date, BAMSportsEntertainment.com. It's a BAM Sports exclusives. Look, I'm not an Argentina fan whatsoever. I'm not a Messi fan whatsoever. I just hate Ronaldo that much that I wanted Messi to win.
Sorry, I just took a drink of beer and almost spit it out.
Literally what it came down to. That's it.
I respect it.
I hate Ronaldo that much, and I always have. Always. Never have I liked that player.
So a victory for Argentina and a victory for Boris in the end. But I do think
it's not even a victory for Argentina. Not even a victory for Boris. It's the loss for Ronaldo that he will go down in history never winning a World Cup. That gives me a half chub.
Would you have gotten a full chub if Argentina had beaten Ronaldo in the final?
Oh, I would have.
If it was Argentina-Portugal?
I would have gone 6-12 faster than you can say, hey, ho.
Like at 6 to midnight, just going AEW full gear.
Yeah,
Holy
man.
fuck, man.
Yeah, man. It would have been an all freaking. I don't even know. CM Punk's got nothing on his rant's got nothing on how.
It would have been a regular brawl out. Boris just unleashing gripe bombs across the city.
Exactly.
That is disgusting.
No,
why
but
would
seriously,
you say
that? For me, what it comes down to is this. It was a tale of two games. And I know I say that a lot, but yesterday it really was the case. For about 79 minutes, you thought that Argentina had this. Argentina was literally running circles around France, making France look stupid, right? And and even the commentators started using the excuses. Well, the French team reported that there's a flu or a cold running through their camp. Yeah,
definitely. Sure. Like around the start of the second half, because the first half had gone so poorly for France, they were leaning into that narrative big time. I found that to be surprising.
But then what happened the next 40 minutes, right? Like they magically got better. Hallelujah, sacre bleu, everything is good.
healed up pretty goddamn quick. Yeah, no doubt. And Mbappe took the game over, man. It is what it is. Like, it was an absolutely brilliant performance from the two probably best football players alive. I guess Belgium's Kevin De Bruyne would have a claim at it as well, right?
Not not that fucking fraud.
No, he's a fraud.
He's a fraud. Okay. No,
I just thought I thought that we said that on a podcast like a month ago, maybe.
You guys all said it.
Fair.
I made my thoughts very clear about that entire Belgium team.
I believe that's true. That is accurate. You can check the tape. Boris was loudly declared they were frauds, and I guess in the end you were right.
Here's we did have probably the two best playing players, active players playing against each other. I love the narrative of like those conspiracy theory nuts. You know, it's in Qatar. Qatar owns PSG. Mbappe and Messi play for PSG. Yeah, they also play for the two best international countries in terms of football. So tranquilo, everyone. Man, I'm going in hot today.
I love it. Fucking hot Boris. Hot takes with hot Boris. But
right?
No, man, you're completely right. I agree. I'm here. I'm sipping on this beer. I'm having a good time, buddy. No arguments on my part.
Why I'm hot? Because all your delays didn't allow me to get a beer. God damn it.
My delays. Yeah, I've delayed this pod. This was all my fault. These delays were all my fault today, and I do apologize to everyone.
No. Don't worry. No, it's.
I apologize to everyone except hot Boris.
Yeah, because you like this hot Boris.
Let's pump the brakes just a bit, but you're not wrong.
That man. Also,
you're not wrong.
You're killing the levels.
Oh yeah, this is our first day on new software, so I apologize. Though it actually sounds better, but yeah, I need to maybe be more as one wise man once said, tranquilo.
Yep. Yeah. It was a great game at the end of the day. Here's the thing. You could probably find 122 games better than yesterday's game, but no game had the significance. No game had the eyes. No game was a World Cup final, right? So if you quantify it the way that we talk about wrestling and our rating system, if you put all that together, yesterday was a 5-star match. And you can't teach that.
Oh, man. I am rock hard with rock and roll. It's a new day. Yes, it is here on BAM.
This is why we record at 7 a.m. usually.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, man. No, I think the only question is Messi the GOAT? Is he the second best of all time? Is he the third or fourth? Is he better than Maradona? Okay. Does it matter? Is he on the Jordan Pele level now?
Here's the thing. Who's better? And this isn't a question for you, Matt. I'm asking you, the listener. Who's better? LeBron James or Michael Jordan? Right? It's like asking that question. You're gonna get 48 people saying LeBron, 48 people saying Jordan, and then 4 people being stupid and saying something like Scottie Pippen.
If anyone says Pippen, they should be kicked out of the conversation, although Pippen is amazing in top 100 for sure. But
you know what I mean, right? Like, okay, let's be realistic. Let's say someone like Kobe. Let's throw Kobe into the mix.
Perfect.
Right?
Perfect name. Perfect name.
I just tried to be funny. Right? Like, it's so hard. It's a debate that can rage on forever. It's like saying who's the best batter in MLB history. Is it Steroid McGee, Barry Bonds, or Babe Ruth, right? Different eras, so many different things to consider. It's the same in football. Pelé and Maradona, they played in completely different eras than people like the fraud Ronaldo and Messi, right? Like, it's just two completely different eras. You can't compare them. So there's no point in comparing them. But what I like to do is saying that they are in that 5-star level of Pelé's. I'm not a fan of Maradona, but He's a fantastic player, and I will never take anything away from that. So yes, I would put those three in the same like top tier, and then right under that tier, it was someone like a Cristiano Ronaldo and stuff like that, right? Like again, not going to take away his God-given talent, but that's neither near here nor there.
Yeah, I think that makes man, it makes a lot of sense. Basically, what you're saying is no matter what you say, and it doesn't really matter what your conclusion is, Messi has to be in the conversation now, right?
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And because like the way that I started yesterday's show is by literally listing the accomplishments that this guy has. Do you know how long it took me to list everything out?
It was staggering. I listened to the show, man. It was staggering. It was awesome, though, to just hear it read out. You actually ran out of gas a little bit, and I don't blame you because it was like, we're not Excalibur. No, man. There's only one Excalibur.
1 minute, 45 seconds.
Scrummy. Ooh, Boris.
1 minute, 45 seconds. That's how long it took me to read out all of his, everything he's won, including a second place World Cup spot, but he never won the big one. It always eluded him, right? It always eluded him. It's like the, might as well call them the Rhodes family and the WWF title.
Yes,
they just never got the big one. So at the end of the day, right, the argument that a lot of people use for Messi not being the GOAT and Ronaldo not being the GOAT is their international career. It's a little unfair because it's only one player. And football, it's not just one player who can win it. But, again, conversation for another podcast. But now that he has it, not only did he win the big one, not only did, they convincingly win, don't bring up penalty kicks, but he was a huge part in that win, right? So, yes, I think.
Yeah, man.
And at the end of the day, as long as he wins that World Cup, which he did, and Ronaldo didn't, I am a happy camper. Like I said, that's all it came down to for me.
That's good. And again, congratulations on all your success. But no, man, that's all it comes down to for me as a super, super casual fan. It was one of the most memorable soccer games, football games that I've ever seen in my life. Definitely one that will stick with me forever. For the rest of my days here on this earth, I will remember that World Cup final. And I do think it catapults Messi into that conversation. And I think it's a historic sporting event. And for those keeping track out there, I believe the correct answers are Jordan, Pele. Actually, no, we're going to go with Milan Borjan, Canadian goalie. No, Jordan, Pele, Brady, Barry Bonds for sure, and begrudgingly Wayne Gretzky, although the most God-gifted hockey player of all time is Mario Lemieux, and Wayne will tell you himself. But Wayne Gretzky is the best hockey player of all time because he destroyed the NHL. He destroyed it beyond recognition.
Yeah, he basically changed the way that people played to counter everything that he brought.
Absolutely.
This is the thing, and this is why I don't think Steph Curry gets the respect he deserves. If you change the game, the way that a game is played, and people have to play differently to counter you and come up with new ways to counter you, I'm sorry, but you're one of the best there is, one of the best there was, and one of the best there ever will be.
I 1,000,000,000% agree. I could not agree with you more. And brother, I think Steph Curry, if he wins 2 more titles, if he ties Jordan, people might start thinking he's the GOAT. His career is going to age even better in the long term because of exactly what you just said than we give him credit for now. Like Steph Curry is absolutely incredible. He is a GOAT contender. I would rank him higher than Kobe Bryant on my list.
I was literally about to say that. I'm a Kobe mark. I'm a Kobe simp. I'm Team LA. Right? But like at the end of the day, other teams didn't need to change the way that they play against Kobe. Right?
No, it just sometimes Kobe went off for like 82 points, for example. But yeah, no, you're exactly right about that. They did not, he didn't change the sport fundamentally forever. Steph Curry has that alone is top 10 status. Plus, he has MVPs, 4 championship rings. If he retired today, he is one of the 10 best ever.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly it. So, yeah, that's that. Yeah,
that's funny. Not sure how we got on. Yeah, absolutely. I was just gonna say, not sure how we got on Steph Curry out of that, but yeah, good soccer game. One of the best I've ever seen. One of the most memorable of my lifetime. The most memorable, probably. Right, like you said, stakes and everything. A 5-star soccer match. It was good stuff, man. Lots of fun. Where does Canada go from here? Find out on the Boris and Phil podcast. Coming to a phone near you.
Yep. Winter 2023. I say that like if winter doesn't start in 3 days. But late February, when the MLS season starts, it's going to be, we have some interesting stuff planned, right? Like, again, I don't think people realize like the work that Phil and I did with the Voyagers, with the Red Patch Boys, with the MLS, with the CSA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you know what? We're going to use this newfound forum that we have, and we're going to keep doing what we do. We're going to let the people in charge of those groups do what they do best, and Phil and I are going to do what we do best.
Talk shit?
Talk tons of shit about people. To their faces.
All right. I love it. I love it. I've seen it.
Here's a fun story.
Hit me.
Here's a fun story. All right, so when TFC was like at its worst, just embarrassing season after embarrassing season, and they had the fucking cojones to raise the season ticket price year over year over year. We were staring defeat in the eyes, and MLSC wanted to raise the season ticket prices something ludicrous, like 50%. So
that's absurd. That's absurd on a good day after a championship. Anyway, please continue.
I don't even know how or why, but I just like it. Like 100%. My idea was, okay, we're gonna do a protest, and this protest is gonna be the green protest, green with money, right? So everyone wore green instead of red because it really stands out in the stands. And we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to get attention. I actually had a New York Times article written. I called in a favor, and New York Times, MLSE, and TFC just getting completely shit-bricked because of what they're doing. I remember the week leading into this game when we did this, MLSC got wind of what we were doing. They called Phil and I into their office. It was me and Phil and 3 executives, including Tom and Selmy at the time.
Really? Oh my God. Well, okay, we got to go back a little bit. When you say you called in a favor, do you mean to like Chris Moltisanti? Who did you call a favor to? To get something in the New York Times? Can you just do that? Call in a favor and get bam at some fucking pub.
I could, but we're not worth it yet. Yet.
Well,
yet.
All right. Begrudgingly, I accept everything you've said on this podcast. No, man, I'm interested. I'm interested to hear the stories, and more than anything, like you and Phil have put a lot of time in. You love the game. And you only get one fucking spin around on this planet, man. You might as well talk about what you love if you're going to be a podcaster and just have some fun with it. So
exactly,
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear it, brother.
Yeah. So long story short, we had Tom and Selmy and 2 other executives from TFC sitting in front of us, and they're like, what are you guys doing this weekend? And I literally told them step by step by step what the plan is. Like, we're going to shit talk you. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Look for a New York Times article. And because I told you ahead of time and it gets shit bricked, I know who did it. So you guys are fucked. So yeah, it's just, again, I'll elaborate another day. But yeah, those are the types of the things that Phil and I managed to get done.
And is a large reason why you're no longer involved with TFC, I'm sure.
Oh, 100%. It's just so time consuming. It's unreal how time consuming it was, but if you look at the state of football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, back in 2006, 2007, when all this started, and where we are now, it's stuff like that, right? Like the groups and like the Voyagers and all the work that they've done. Look where we're at. As they say on that podcast and the what's his face meme, look at us now. Just look at us now.
Hey, I mean, we were in the World Cup just like a second ago, and 2 teams in our group, the group of death, made the Final Four. So, hey, man, we thank you for your service, big homie.
Yep. All right. What else is on tap?
Well, I guess I just briefly, before we get out of this stuff and start talking wrestling, I want to talk some entertainment, because in video games, randomly, I was just playing on the Nintendo Switch and I saw there was a Skyrim anniversary update. I was like, what the heck is this? And it turns out Skyrim just randomly added a ton of shit to their video game. So if you're a Skyrim fan, go check that out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm sure that there's a lot of people, and you're playing this on Switch?
I am playing on the Nintendo Switch. Yes, I don't mind it. It's cool to have handheld Skyrim. I said that very weird. Handheld Skyrim. It's it's not too bad. When they first did this update, I guess it was pretty laggy, but I just got it and it seems to be running very well for me. So what they've added, there's a vanilla like free update. If you just play Skyrim, you don't have to buy any DLC. And they've added fishing, like full out. You can go out on lakes and catch rare fish and treasures and all stuff, kind of similar to Ocarina of Time. I have not yet tried out the fishing, but it seems cool.
All right there, Braun Breaker.
Exactly, right? Just a little video game fishing. Who doesn't love that? Although there is a funny thing about playing video game fishing, which I guess is the same video game anything, but it just feels like I should be doing real fishing anytime I fish on video games.
What's the difference between real fishing and video game fishing? We can have a legit debate that is the exact same shit.
You know what the difference is, Boris?
I've pissed off every fisher.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you what the difference is. Vitamin D. It's healthier for you to be outside. That's the difference.
True enough.
But
look, I've never gone fishing. Always wanted to, but you think a Latino family is gonna go on a freaking boat and tie strings to the end of sticks, throwing said string in said water and wait like idiots?
Boris, if you ever come up north, fucking, I'll get you fishing one day. But yeah, man, that's I understand. That's hilarious, buddy. That's so funny. But yeah, so they added they added fishing to the game.
Have you ever gone to the jungle and slashed banana leaves with a machete? That's the shit I did.
Is that what you did? Really? I don't know. Okay, no, I haven't.
Not in Canada.
I was gonna say, where, Mississauga? I don't know where you were doing that. But oh man, what else did they add to this friggin' game? I guess you can befriend pets now, Boris. That's cool. They expanded the whole like animals. Like there's way more animals. Even when you're walking around, it's noticeable.
So what's the difference between that and a Tamagotchi?
That's that. Now that is a good question. That it's more elaborate on Skyrim. Yeah, anyway, Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Feel like I was more prepared for this segment and it got derailed a little bit. But
I'm so sorry.
No, man. I love it. It's fucking, low importance content. I don't give a fuck.
13 hours ago, we should have recorded this.
I think I'm liking where we're at right now.
This is literally why, because by 8 p.m., you get this, Boris.
Groggy, half in the bag. Although you're not even half in the bag, you're fully out of bag, Boris, right now.
Boris hasn't been in any bag in a while, so
could mean a lot of things. I'm just gonna let that one hang out there for a second.
Exactly what I meant.
Just gonna let it hang out for a second. All right, do you want to talk about some professional wrestling, big homie?
Let's talk about some professional wrestling. Oh man, you know what? There's a rant I want to do, but I do this rant on one of the specials coming up, so I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna say
is a little taste. Get a little taste.
Just a little taste. All I'm gonna say is New Japan Pro Wrestling has pissed me off.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's good. Get a little taste of the glory. See what it tastes like, and definitely check out those episodes. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope Mike just puts the whole thing out on YouTube. I think
He
we should
should.
just put the whole thing out
He
on
should.
YouTube. We should.
But yeah, New Japan Pro Wrestling. They had one job, and it makes you wonder if there was a reason, like a booking reason why we're not getting FTR versus Aussie Open 2.
I wonder if there's if FTR is maybe going back home to WWE. Perhaps maybe they're just I don't know, just wrapping up with New Japan.
Or Tony Khan doesn't want them to lose, because I think that Aussie Open will eventually beat them. They're not. FTR's not losing to Yoshihashi and Goto. I'm sorry.
What was that voice? I think they are. I think they are losing. I'll bet you on that. I'll bet you a pitcher of beer.
If
a pitcher of beer.
If Yoshihashi is a champion on January 4th, 2023, I don't know what the year of wrestling is going to bring us.
Oh man, it could be really wacky. I'll give you some wacky. Let's do bold predictions next week. We did bold predictions last year. I don't know if any of them came true, but they're all going to come true this year.
This guy.
You got one.
Oh, I got one. I got two big ones. Number one, Cody
really?
Rhodes to WWE. That was a fucking joke. Number two, the destruction of AEW. Didn't think it would get that bad, but I said the honeymoon, and I don't mean destruction. I'm not saying the company is going under. Tranquilo, everyone. What I'm saying and what I said last year was the honeymoon phase is over, and boy, oh boy, is the honeymoon phase over. Look at you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I was a big, I shouldn't say I was, because I still love AEW, but like, yeah, I was a huge fanboy. I had free tickets to Rampage after Dynamite in Toronto, and I didn't even go because I didn't like Dynamite in Toronto that much. And yeah, I'm very disappointed with how AEW has ended up over the last couple months, man. Jeff Jarrett, so much Jeff Jarrett. It pisses me off, you might say.
Ain't he great?
No. The answer is no. So do you want to review Impact, or what are we doing?
Yeah, let's talk some Impact. It was actually an okay episode. It wasn't that good, actually, now that I think about it, considering I reviewed it for slamwrestling.net. This is my issue with Impact. Listen to the matches. Match number 1, Eddie Edwards versus Delirious. In 2022. Eddie
that's weird.
Edwards
That's
versus Delirious.
2009 ROH match, right? Like,
yeah.
What else we got?
Eddie Edwards won. Surprise. That was that. They did a bunch of bullshit with the Code of Honor and stuff. Eddie Edwards beats up Delirious. Jonathan Gresham makes his re-debut in Impact.
Oh, interesting. The Octopus Man, Jonathan Gresham. I like Jonathan Gresham. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, say what you will, like maybe he was almost made fun of a little bit amongst wrestling fans, but this man has worked his ass off. I appreciate his hard work in professional wrestling, and I hope he continues to wrestle and make a living in this business. Like, I have absolutely no ill will or hate toward Jonathan Gresham. Go get it.
PWI's number 10 wrestler of 2022, Jonathan Gresham.
I
love Jonathan Gresham. I love Jonathan Gresham.
But you know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, exactly. But the point, well illustrated, man. That was exactly, fans were making fun of him because the word on the street was that this man went to Tony Khan, which I guess, to be fair to the fans who made fun of him, it's fucking hilarious.
Okay,
it's
but
true.
Here's the thing. Okay.
Well, can I just say it just quickly?
Sorry.
He went to Apparently, he went to Tony Khan with the PWI 500 and said he was top 10 ranked on the PWI, and thus he deserved to be pushed. And who knows what happened from there? Except he's out of AEW and Ring of Honor, and now he's in Impact. Boris, please continue.
It's Tony Khan. That argument 100% could have worked on that guy.
That's a really good point. Know your audience, right? That's a strong point, brother.
No one ever brought that up, but it's like,
that's a strong point.
If that's a way that you're going to negotiate with someone like a Tony Khan, good on you.
That's a strong point. I respect it, buddy. That's you're right. I hadn't heard that before, and I can't argue it. So, yeah, man. I don't know. We could talk some. Let's continue to talk this Impact thing here. And what else was on this card?
Josh Alexander pissed off Scott D'Amore a little bit. Scott D'Amore reminded Josh Alexander that he's facing Bully Ray in a few weeks.
Cool. So Bully Ray still monster heel on this program?
Yep. Bully Ray beat someone in 1 minute 6 seconds. His name was John Skyler.
Oh, I've heard of John Skyler before. I think he's been around. Anyways, possibly like AEW Dark a few times.
Probably. 1 minute 6 seconds. Tommy Dreamer comes out. Basically, Bully Ray admits that yes, he did in fact beat everyone up that he was accused of beating up, and he just played Tommy Dreamer like a fiddle.
Yes, so he is the coolest, baddest ass of all characters on this show. Awesome. Really cool.
Matt Cardona and Brian Myers faced Decay's Crazy Steve and Black Taurus. That was actually a good match. However, thank you, Impact, for only giving us 4 minutes 30 seconds of it, because you had the longest commercial humanly possible right in the middle of this match.
It sucks. It's tough for TV wrestling. You got to pay the bills. I understand, but also like it's a valid complaint on your end, man, because it's brutal. It really sucks.
Alan Angels versus Sami Callihan. Match only went 7 minutes. I don't know, man. Impact was doing so good. These matches aren't bad, and I know that they're TV matches, but it feels like I'm watching an episode of NXT sometimes.
Yeah, no doubt. It seems like for lack of a better term, the work rate has gone down or something, right? Like we're not getting those good matches that we were getting every week, it seems.
Bhupinder Gujar and Joe Hendry faced Johnny Swinger and Ziggy Dice. Johnny Swinger in 2022.
And like I'd almost rather see him than Zicky Dice. No, I don't mind Zicky Dice, but that's a jobber team if ever there was one.
And guess what? They lost in 3 minutes, 16 seconds in an okay match.
That went about 2 minutes 59 more than I thought it would.
All right. Main event, though. Main event was worth it. If there's any match that you're going to watch from Impact last week, and that's Heath and Rhino versus the Motor City Machine Guns for the Impact Tag Team Championships. And your winners in 15 minutes, the Motor City Machine Guns, to pick up the Impact Tag Team titles. I'm loving this. Loving the fact that the Motor City Machine, and I know I'm making fun of like Bully Ray and Johnny Swinger, but they're not in the level of the Motor City Machine Guns when they can still go as if it was 2009.
Yeah, man. Well, at the end of the day, the tag team titles are a lower position on the card than the world title. It's just a fact. And the Motor City Machine Guns are much better than Bully Ray at this stage in the game. So, of course, it's less egregious that they win the tag team titles. I think they're a great choice to be the Impact Tag Champions. In fact, I would argue that the issues that you have with Bully Ray are more suited to be taken up with Rhino and Heath Slater. You know what I mean? Than they would be with this team. Like Rhino and Heath deserve them less than the Motor City Machine Guns, especially in TNA. So I like this title change. That makes a lot of sense. I'm not going to watch that match under any circumstances. You can't make me, but I'm sure it was okay.
Yeah, I won't even joke around and say that is good enough for the list, because it's not.
Lots of wrestling out there, man. We have some really good matches that we have to cut from this list coming up this year.
One last thing. Okay, we're going to do our bold predictions next week, but I'm going to give you one right now that we're talking Impact.
Ooh, hit me.
Scott D'Amore will leave Impact Wrestling in 2023 and be head of creative for AEW.
Wow, that is bold. Okay, write that one down. Fans, please, listeners, if anyone's out there hearing this podcast, please hold Boris to that one in 2024 when we
49
go back
minutes, 20 seconds into this podcast, 9:03 p.m., December 19th. I have spoken.
There it is, law laid down by the big homie
What
Boris.
is wrong with me tonight?
I'm loving it, man. It's a good podcast so far.
Yeah, it's a good podcast indeed. All right, Matt. One last thing before we go to the main event, which is your top hit, or I guess misses of the list. We're going to be next week on BAM. We're going to be previewing the cards for the December 29th Stardom show and
Nice.
New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom, which somehow doesn't have FTR versus Aussie Open 2.
Yes, FTR versus your boy Yoshihashi, and of course Hiroki Goto.
I feel sorry for Goto. He's just taking stray bullets.
I mean, I feel sorry for Yoshihashi because he's taking direct bullets. No, he's Yoshihashi. It's all right. I'm sure he'll live. Yeah, man. I'm excited for Wrestle Kingdom, though. That's going to be a good show. There's going to be like 7 matches on that could contend for our 123 of 2023.
Yeah, man. That card is stacked, to say the least. Are we doing an aftercast? I think we should do an aftercast.
Yeah, if I can get Thursday off, 100%. Yeah, we'll try. Unconfirmed, but yeah, I will try for sure.
Let's just keep planning the podcast while everyone listens. Why don't we?
No, it's good. That's good. I like to let people behind the curtain. So yeah, we got to go back to Wrestle Kingdom 2022 for a second here when we start the hardest cuts list, man. So the basic idea of this situation is we watch too much wrestling. We watch so much wrestling all the time. I have since I was a kid. I love this stuff. So I've just in the last couple of years wanted to kind of start cataloging it and just kind of celebrating it because I love it so much. So that's why we're doing these 122 lists, these like year of wrestling celebrations. We're going to do more top 10s on BAM. We've already kind of started the top 10 list, but we're going to really lean into that in 2023 anyway. So in celebration of wrestling, these are some matches that I have actually cut from the list because there's so much wrestling that 122 is not enough. 122 spots aren't enough, Boris. I need more. So anyway, I still wanted to celebrate these matches that we will not be talking about on the big special.
All right, that sounds good. I feel like somehow this episode needs to have some sort of Festivus reference because I aired all the grievances this week.
It's been an airing of grievances for sure. So yeah, I guess yeah, I don't know. I guess we're being a Grinch a little bit on these matches because we're saying they weren't good enough for our list. Okay. But at the same time, we're still saying they're great. There's so much wrestling out there nowadays that these are still great wrestling matches. It's just they
okay,
122.
I was literally gonna say that. Like, I was thinking in my head, how can I quickly do the math audibly to just give people an idea of how many matches, right? Like, just let's take a look at one promotion. Let's take a look at AEW because that's probably the easiest one. Typically, they have 5 matches on Dynamite. Times that by 52. That's 260 matches. Remember that number, 260. Okay. You have about 4 matches on Rampage, times that by 52, plus the 206. AEW has about 414. Let's put that up to at least 420 matches a year on television, and that's just on Rampage and Dynamite.
Yeah, I'd say that's conservative, but I'm okay with it. 420 YOLO Blazer, Boris. Let's keep going. It's very conservative.
I just said to give people an idea of how awesome it is.
You're right. You just keep rolling. Keep rolling.
I'm trying to give you some credit, my friend.
I'm agreeing, man. I'm saying that's even lower, man. No, there's so much damn wrestling, and that's just one promotion.
It's crazy, and that's the thing. That's just one promotion, right? If we take a look at WWE, you times that by a little bit. Let's just give that the 600 matches. We're looking at over 1,000 matches just on the top 2 promotions, and that's just on regular television. We're not including pay-per-views, premium live events. We're not including other promotions. Like, we're looking at 2,000 to 3,000 matches that could potentially end up on this list. Talking this out loud, I need a life.
No, absolutely, man. No, I am not. I am not arguing with anybody that I am a giant loser. Don't get me wrong. I am a giant loser and a nerd, and I do not apologize for that. I do not apologize for that, my friend. That is the life I have chosen and love. So we're gonna get into some of these wrestling matches. That basically the gimmick here is, if you think that I'm not giving this match enough credit, if you think it's not just like an A minus, it needs to actually be on the list at the end of the year, you holler at me. If I'm being a jaded wrestling fan, Boris.
All right. Then I remember, I'm like giving you all the credit in the world, and then I remember one of the matches that you put on this list last year.
Oh yeah, exactly right. One that deserved to be on the list.
One that deserved to be like number 10,000 on the match list last year.
So you're talking about Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley exploding barbed wire howdy you dooski.
100%.
Yeah, well, that was polarizing indeed. So, but that's why it's good to have different, takes, different opinions.
Oh my God, we're gonna get the stadium stampede in the stupid list, aren't we?
Was there a stadium stampede this year? I already don't remember if it happened.
I don't know what they called it. Anyways.
Oh, okay. So let's look. These are the 10 hardest cuts from January to May. I am going to present them to you, Boris, in chronological order. They are all 4-star matches, which here on BAM we define 4 out of 5, 80%. It's an A minus here in Canada. Still a great match, but it's an A minus if you wanted to be a dick about it.
All right.
So we're going to start with Wrestle Kingdom 16 Night 1. It was Katsuyori Shibata versus Ren Narita. Shibata's comeback match. It was still a great match, great moment, especially the way we look at matches here. But honestly, with him coming back and having an excellent match against Orange Cassidy, I don't know if I can still justify putting this on the list. It was 4 stars, and the cutoff seems to be 4 1/4, so this one's gone.
Yeah, that's a hard one, just because I think the moment outweighed anything that the match was. The match literally could have been Dexter Lumis versus The Miz in the ladder match, which is happening right now. But if it was, Shibata's, because it was Shibata's return, it elevated it so much more.
Absolutely.
Having said that, I agree that it could be part of the hard cut.
Yeah, I think this is like, it sucked to cut it. It was hard to cut it, but at the end of the day, it had to be cut. I think. Yeah, pour one out for Mike and Joe having to review Dexter versus Miz in a ladder match. Check out Tuesday Morning Cooked here on Sunday night's Main Event Radio. Free episode, I think, coming up. If not, coming up soon. Anyway, okay, next up, chronologically from January 10th, 2022, this was the best match of Dookie's career, the former Captain New Japan. Dookie versus Tai Chi from Just Tap Out Taka Tai Chi Mania 3, which I assume, just from this context, just from reading these words, is an independent promotion ran by Taka Michinoku and Tai Chi. Is that accurate? That seems to be correct. Anyway, so Dookie versus Tai Chi. So the thing about this match is it was great, but it was 28 minutes and like 45 seconds. So it's a whole lot of Dookie, if you will.
Good joke. Well played.
Anyway, so yeah, we're going 4 stars for this A minus. Excellent wrestling match. I don't regret watching it, but I honestly don't think it is going to find a place on our list of 122.
I don't regret watching it, but I regret watching it is literally what you just said in a roundabout way.
No. I love me some Dookie. All right, moving on. January 30th, 2022. This is the Battle of Los Angeles final. Daniel Garcia versus Speedball Mike Bailey. So they were trying to tell a story in this match. Lots of selling. Mike Bailey came in injured. Daniel Garcia looked awesome. But again, the classic PWG, way too long. And just at the end of the day, I think A minus is the perfect rating for this one. Great match, great wrestlers, but just god dang it went an hour.
Yeah, Mike Bailey likes his long matches. That's for damn sure.
He does. Well, he's exploring the space, and I appreciate that. But yeah, you're right. All right. The next up, one of 3 Okada versus Naito matches that we are cutting. So on our mid-year list, we had Okada versus Naito 3 times at 4.25. But I went back and like, do any of those stand out to you at all? Do you remember a single moment of any one of those matches? Now, you would be hard pressed to say they weren't great, but were they truly something special? That's how we kind of quantify 4.25 stars, not just great, but something special. So no offense to the Okada Naito oeuvre. They've had like a dozen matches. Some of them are special, but the ones that happened in 2022, I don't think fans are going to remember. So we have Okada versus Naito from February 19th, New Japan Golden Series, and Okada versus Naito from New Japan Cup Night 14, March 26, 2022. Those ones have been cut. They are down to 4 stars. Bumped them down slightly because I think in this crazy year, they're no longer something special, as insane as that is.
Yeah, exactly. Then that's the thing, right? And man, you know how I feel about Naito, and I feel like he just had the roughest go at the start of 2020.
Yeah, man, and he's been playing catch up ever since. Yeah, yep. That's totally right. That's totally right. Okay, buddy, this one might be a fight. I think you like this match a lot, and I only watched it once, and I remember thinking it was a PWG match, and I had it lower in my esteem than some. So tell me I'm an idiot. Alex Shelley versus Speedball Mike Bailey, multiverse of matches, April 1st, 2022. 4 stars, A-. What do you think?
I agree that this one is there. Yep, I agree. This one was great. This one was great, but I think you summed it up best. It was a PWG match. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about these matches. They are great upon first watch,
but they don't stick with you. It's like a bag of Doritos. You know what I mean? It's junk food.
Doritos sticks on you. Your hands.
That's a really good point. I mean, it's not filling, you know what I mean? It's not like, yeah, but you're right. Yeah, that was a bad example. Doritos are very, very sticky.
Oh man, now I want like some Cool Ranch. Oh man, it's for some cool. You know, I feel like trash right now. Like I feel so bloated. It's disgusting and unsexy.
What you need.
and I feel
Oh, Boris, don't feel that way. You look great, homie. But what you need, if you feel bloated and gross, is a full bag of Cool Ranch Doritos. Just smash it directly to your head for sure. That's what you need right now.
Or some, oh my God, this is gonna sound hilarious. I want some chocolate. What's wrong with me?
It's Christmas time, man. You know, it's the Christmas cravings are setting in, big homie. Okay. So next up, Ilya Dragunov versus Roderick Strong from a random episode of NXT UK. Another great match. I love Dragunov. I love Strong. They hit each other hard, but it was an edited TV match. You know, I would call it great for sure. It would have been one of the 50 best matches of 1982 or one of the 20 best matches. Who knows? You know what I mean? But in this insane year of wrestling, I feel like Ilya Dragunov versus Roderick Strong from April 7th, 2022 belongs here.
Yep, I remember this match, and it was a good match. But again, just 122 spots for the major list, for the main event list, for the main roster list.
Absolutely right. You gotta make
so. This NXT match ended up on the NXT of our list.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got to make some hard cuts. Got to kill your babies, as they say.
And whoa, that went dark real fast.
That's an actual saying, but yeah, it's a dark saying. It's a dark one.
Some would say this is the AEW dark of our list.
Back out. It is exactly that. Okay, so next up on the dark portion of our list, a world title match from New Japan. Switchblade Jay White defeats Kazuchika Okada at New Japan Dominion for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. This was, New Japan Dominion of this year, June. I don't have the date written down, unfortunately.
I want to say that it happened on the 6th or the 7th.
Okay, that seems about right. Again, it's Okada and Jay White. They're not going to have a bad match. This was a great match. Do you remember a single second of this match?
So that's a bad question for me. I do remember this match fully.
Well,
and the reason
tell me.
The reason why is because I watched the Dominion in Vancouver with my brother. That's the reason why I remember the date.
Oh,
so
nice.
It stood out for that reason, right? Like I hold this card a little higher than a lot of people. because of that reason, because I did watch it with my brother. Like I've mentioned many times, it's something so nostalgic for me. So when we do get to watch wrestling together, it always sticks with me. Having said that, this match is, and this was your typical New Japan Pro Wrestling match, where just like this podcast and my rants, they last a little too long.
But we love it anyway, and we keep coming back for more.
Just like New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Absolutely. Speaking of New Japan Pro Wrestling, the third Okada Naito match comes in at number 9 on our 10 hardest cuts today. So that's Okada versus Naito for May 1st. This is Wrestling Dontaku. So I guess if I had this backwards, Dominion was actually in June. So this should have been at the bottom of our list. Apologies. So yeah, I screwed up the chronologically.
You had one job.
I had one job and I blew it. All right. And the final match we're going to talk about today, Darby Allin versus Kyle O'Reilly from Double or Nothing. That was May 29th, 2022. This was an awesome match. I feel so bad for Kyle O'Reilly.
I do too.
Being out of the game right now at a time when he was really picking up steam, had some important big matches, got some big wins, won this match against Darby Allin, and couldn't really follow up on that due to having a broken freaking neck. So pour one out for Kyle O'Reilly. Good Vancouver boy. Hope he comes back healthy soon. I'm going to run through these 10 again real quick, and you tell me what off the top of your head is the best of these 10. Shibata versus Narita, Wrestle Kingdom, January 4th. Dookie versus Taichi Mania, January 10th. Garcia versus Speedball, Battle of Los Angeles, January 30th. Okada versus Naito, New Year's Golden Series, February 19th. Okada versus Naito, New Japan Cup, March 26th. Shelley versus Speedball, Impact Wrestling Multiverse of Matches, April 1st. Dragunov versus Roderick Strong, NXT UK, April 7th. Okada versus Naito, Wrestling Dontaku, May 1st. Darby Allin versus Kyle O'Reilly, AEW Double or Nothing, May 29th. Or Okada versus Switchblade, Dominion, sometime in June.
All right. My favorite match of that list was Naito Okada from the New Japan Cup in March.
Okay, nice. Do you remember is there anything that stands out about that one over the other two?
It was the pacing. It wasn't an overly long match, and it was one of those things. And so the reason why I'm a huge fan of the G1 tournament this year, especially, and it's that they kept matches nice and short, and that tends to be a theme in these tournament matches or round robin matches of the G1, where you're not getting 20, 30, 40-minute matches.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. The time limit in the G1 is 30 minutes, and they rarely go even close to that long. And if they do, it's supposed to be a big event. So that's a great part of the G1. All right, man. Well, thank you very much for your feedback. Maybe I'll go give that one another rewatch one of these days if I can before the end of the year. And of course, if you out there, if you're listening, if you're still listening, thank you so much. If you have any ideas for matches you think I may have missed, matches that you feel deserve to be pimped, matches that you feel didn't get the love that they need in 2022, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Exactly. All right, dude. So to end this episode, we're going to be playing a special song. That's hilarious because it is from the Specials, and it's in honor of Terry Hall, who sadly passed away earlier today. And it's crazy stuff. So, what an episode. It's crazy that we're already coming to the last few episodes of the year. As always, it has been a hell of a time chatting sports, entertainment, and wrestling with you, Matt. I got nothing else. I honestly have nothing else to say today.
You are bombed out and depleted. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode. We're coming back with lots of stuff. SNME Best of. Bam. Top 122 of 2022. We're hopefully going to have our boy Paul Yorkie on to do a little year-end gimmick as well. We could talk some Hall of Fame. We could still talk Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. I guess we should do that maybe. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, let's do it next week. Next week, we'll clean up all the year-end stuff that we haven't done. It's going to be the year-end extravaganza.
It'll be the smorgasbord of BAM, the smorgasbam.
I love it. Oh my God. Once again, my dick is on fire with rock and roll or something like that. Let's please stop podcasting for the love of Jeff.
We need to cut this. He's back. I'm Boris. We need to be a little more tranquilo.
Yeah.